All right, well, this is the Chapter 1 practice test. This test is going to cover sections 1.1 to 1.5, which is from one-step equations all the way through absolute value equations and literal equations. So we're going to do number 1. Here we go. Number 1 is a minus 10 equals 8. Now remember, you need to be showing your work. It's not okay just to tell me what the number or what the answer is. So we draw this line so that we remember what side we're moving things to, different sides of the equal sign. And if it's a minus 10, I show my work by adding 10 to both sides. And then we get a equals 18. Number 2, 13 equals, let's erase some of this, y minus 17. Well, there's my equal sign. I want to get y by itself, so we're going to move the 17. We're going to do the inverse operation. The inverse of subtraction is addition, so we're going to add 17 to both sides. And 30 equals y. Number 3 is 10h equals 90. Now remember, when there's a number with the variable together, that's multiplication. So to undo that, we're going to divide by 10. And I really want to see the fraction bar, not the division symbol. So we show dividing by 10. The 10 by 10 is 1. 1h equals 90 divided by 10 is 9. Number 4 is k over negative 8. That k over, that fraction bar means division, equals negative 9. So that's division, and we're going to undo that by multiplication. So we're going to multiply by negative 8. Remember to use the negatives as well so that you have the right sign for your answer. And then 8 divided by 8 is 1k. And negative 9 times negative 8 is a positive. Negative and negative is positive when we're multiplying. So positive 72. Number 5 is b divided by 8 equals negative 7. I don't really like it written this way, but I couldn't change it in the test generator. So really you would see it more like this on the test. b over 8 again. The opposite of division is multiply, so we're going to multiply by 8. And in this case, a negative times a positive is negative, so negative 56 is your B. Number 6 is m over 1 plus 9 equals 4. That's a really weird equation. You're almost never going to see something like this with m over 1, because m over 1 is just m. So this is m plus 9 equals 4. And then our equal sign, here it is. So I want to move I want to get m by itself, so we're going to minus the 9 from both sides. Those zero out, and we get m equals negative 5. And then number 7 is d minus 5. Let's see, I need more space here. d minus 5 over 2 equals negative 8. Okay, so in this problem, we want to see that this is really a big parentheses on top. And so we want to undo the division of d minus 5 by multiplying both sides by the 2 and multiply the negative 8 by the 2. Well, here, the 2 divided by 2, they cancel, and we get d minus 2 on this side, or sorry, d minus 5 equals negative 16. And then we can add our 5 to both sides, and d is equal to negative 11. Remember our addition and subtraction rules. When the signs are different, you're going to subtract and take the sign of the bigger number. When the signs are the same, you add the numbers and you take the same sign. And those rules are different from multiplication and division. Okay, number 8 here, we have 40 equals 7d minus 13d minus 2. And when we have more than one variable, we want to see if we can combine like terms. And here we have two terms that both have a d. So 7d minus 13d, they combine, they are negative 6d, because 7 minus 13 is negative 6. And we get 40 equals negative 6d minus 2. And then I want to always move my constant first. So I'm going to get this on the other side. So I'm going to add 2. I'm going to add 2. So we get 42 equals negative 6d. And then I'm going to undo the multiplication. So first we undo addition or subtraction, then you undo the division or multiplication. Unless the whole thing is under a fraction like the one we just did. So we're going to divide by negative 6. And d is equal to, and I switched the signs on that. Let me fix that. Negative 7 equals d, because the 6's cancel. Number 9 is 4/5 v minus 2/5 v plus 13 equals 7. Again, we have like terms here. It's just fractions with the same denominator. Not that complicated. We subtract the numerators. 4 minus 2 is 2. And I'm talking about fifths, so 2/5 v plus 13 equals 7. Again, we're going to undo the addition or subtraction. In this case, it's addition. So we're going to subtract the 13. We get 2/5 v equals negative 6. And then to undo the fractional coefficient, we are going to multiply by the reciprocal 5/2 times by 5/2. And to multiply a fraction times a whole number, we put a 1 underneath the whole number. We can multiply straight across, or we could cross cancel. I like to cross cancel. I think it makes it easier. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And so let's show you that. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And that leaves me with negative 3 times 5, which is negative 15. So v equals negative 15. Now you could have done negative 30 divided by 2, and that also gives you the negative 15. So whether you do the cross-canceling or you multiply straight across, you get the same answer. It just sometimes makes the numbers smaller, so the multiplication is easier. Number 10 is 9 times the quantity of 8 minus 4w plus 18 equals negative 54. And so when we're doing, oh no, these are parentheses, not absolute value. So when we have a number in front of parentheses, we are allowed to distribute. So we can distribute the 9 times 8, which is 72. 9 times the negative 4w is negative 36, w, plus the 18 equals negative 54. Here we have some like terms, 72 and 18. When I add that together, I get they're on the same side of the equal sign, so I can just combine them. I'm not moving them around. So they're on the same side, so that's 90 minus 36w equals negative 54. And then we're going to move the constants by doing the opposite, minusing the 90 because the negative is attached to the 36 here. So negative 36w equals negative 144. And then we're going to divide by negative 36. And 36 times 2 is 72. So w equals 4. There are not going to be numbers this big on the test, but on the review sheet it doesn't hurt. So I'm going to move these up out of the way and do 11 and 15. Let me erase some of these. There we go. So number 11, 15 times the quantity of 3 minus u plus 12u equals 66. We're going to distribute 45 minus 15u plus 12u equals 66. So I have two u terms here, so I can combine them. I get 45, negative 15 plus 12u is negative 3u equals 66. And then again, we're going to get the u by itself by subtracting the 45 first. And we get negative 3u equals 21. Divide by the negative 3. And u equals negative 7. And lastly, on this page, number 12, negative 5 times n minus 4. Hold on, I need more space for this. There we go. Number 12 here. Negative 5 times the quantity of n minus 4 minus negative 4 plus n equals 18. So again, when I have a number in front of parentheses, I can distribute. And I'm going to distribute that negative sign over the parentheses as well. Negative 5n plus 20. Negative times negative 4 is plus 4 minus n. That negative changes the sign of what's inside, equals 18. And I have like terms. I have a negative 5n and a negative n. That is negative 6n. And I have a 20 plus a 4. Those are on the same side of the equal sign, so I'm just going to combine like terms. Plus 20 equals 18. No, not 20, sorry, 24. 24 equals 18. Now I'm here at my two-step equation to solve. I'm going to undo the addition by subtracting 24. I get negative 6n equals negative 6. Divide by the negative 6, and n equals 1. Pay really close attention to your negative signs when you're subtracting. At every step, you should ask yourself, is it positive or negative? Am I dividing by the negative? I see a lot of students leave the negative off when they're dividing, and then their answer has the wrong sign. Okay, and these will be the last three for this video, and on I'll do 16 through 31 on the next one. So number 13. Here we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. So my goal is to get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. So to do that, I like to keep my x's positive, so I think I'll subtract the 4x. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Subtract the 4x from both sides, and I get negative 2 equals 2x plus 3. Now I'll move the constant minus the 3. Negative 5 equals 2x, and we'll divide by the 2. And don't get messed up, just because the answer is a fraction, it's not reducible. We don't need to make it a mixed number, so we can just leave it. X is negative 5/2. Number 14, 3h plus 8h minus 2 equals 6h plus 7. We have some like terms here, so we get 11h minus 2 equals 6h plus 7. We're going to get our variables on one side by subtracting 6h. Like I said, I'm doing it differently this way because I like to keep my variable positive if possible. So I get 5h minus 2 equals 7. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides. And we get 5h equals 9. Divide by 5. And h is 9/5. Again, it's a completely reduced fraction. You don't need to make it a mixed number or a decimal. And let's see, lastly, let's go this way. Number 15. 9 times a minus 4 equals 6 times a plus 4. So we're going to distribute the 9 and then distribute the 6. 9a minus 36 equals 6a plus 24. 6 times 4 is 24. Variables on both sides. To keep my variable positive, I'm going to subtract the 6a. You would get the same answer if you subtracted the 9a first. I get 3a minus 36 equals 24. Moving the constant, plus 36. I have 3a equals 60. Right, and then divide by 3. Your a is equal to 20.